In the annals of financial history, few names evoke as much infamy as Charles Ponzi. Born in Italy in 1882, Ponzi emigrated to the United States in pursuit of the American dream. However, his ambitions were tainted by greed and a willingness to exploit others for personal gain. This paper examines Ponzi's rise to prominence, the mechanics of his fraudulent scheme, its ramifications, and the lessons learned from this cautionary tale. Early life and ambitions. Charles Ponzi's early life was marked by a desire for wealth and status. Despite humble beginnings, he harbored grand aspirations of achieving financial success beyond his wildest dreams. However, Ponzi lacked the means and the patience to attain his goals through legitimate means. His insatiable desire for wealth would ultimately lead him down a path of deception and deceit. The birth of the scheme. Ponzi's fraudulent scheme revolved around the arbitrage of international reply coupons, a relatively obscure financial instrument at the time. Promising investors exorbitant returns in a short period, Ponzi claimed to exploit a loophole in the system to generate profits. However, the reality was far from the extravagant promises he made. Instead of generating profits through legitimate means, Ponzi used new investors' funds to pay returns to earlier investors, creating the illusion of a successful enterprise. The expansion and collapse. As word of Ponzi's seemingly miraculous returns spread, droves of investors clamored to pour their money into his scheme. Ponzi's wealth and influence grew rapidly as he basked in the adulation of his followers. However, the facade began to crumble as questions arose about the sustainability of his operation. When withdrawals began to exceed new investments, Ponzi's house of cards came crashing down. In 1920, his empire collapsed, leaving countless investors penniless and destitute. Impact and legacy. The fallout from Ponzi's scheme reverberated far and wide, shaking the foundations of financial markets and regulatory bodies. The public's trust in financial institutions was shattered, leading to calls for greater oversight and transparency. Ponzi's name became synonymous with financial fraud, serving as a cautionary tale for generations to come. His actions prompted lawmakers to enact stricter regulations to protect investors and prevent similar schemes from taking root. Lessons learned. The Ponzi scheme serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked greed and the importance of due diligence in investment decisions. It highlights the need for robust regulatory mechanisms to safeguard against fraud and exploitation. Moreover, it underscores the enduring allure of get-rich-quick schemes and the vulnerability of individuals swayed by promises of easy wealth. Psychological dynamics of the Ponzi scheme. Ponzi's scheme didn't just exploit financial loopholes. It also preyed on psychological vulnerabilities. Many investors were lured by the promise of quick and easy wealth, driven by a fear of missing out on lucrative opportunities. Ponzi capitalized on this fear, leveraging social proof and testimonials from early investors to create a sense of urgency and legitimacy. Additionally, Ponzi's charismatic personality and extravagant lifestyle helped to foster a cult-like following, blinding investors to the inherent risks of his scheme. Legal and ethical implications. Ponzi's scheme not only had devastating financial consequences, but also raised important legal and ethical questions. His actions constituted outright fraud, deceiving investors with false promises and misrepresentations. The collapse of his scheme led to numerous lawsuits, regulatory investigations, and criminal charges. Ponzi himself was convicted of multiple counts of fraud and spent years behind bars. His case set legal precedents for prosecuting financial crimes and established the framework for modern securities regulation. Moreover, Ponzi's unethical behavior tarnished the reputation of the financial industry, highlighting the need for ethical standards and corporate governance practices to prevent similar abuses in the future. Evolution of investor protection mechanisms. In the wake of Ponzi's scheme, regulators and lawmakers implemented various measures to enhance investor protection and market integrity. The Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 were landmark pieces of legislation aimed at restoring confidence in the financial markets and curbing fraudulent activities. These laws established disclosure requirements, regulatory oversight, and enforcement mechanisms to safeguard investors against fraud, manipulation, and insider trading. Conclusion: Charles Ponzi's legacy is one of infamy and disgrace, but his name lives on as a cautionary tale for investors and regulators alike. His fraudulent scheme may have ended in ruin, but its impact continues to resonate in the world of finance. By studying the rise and fall of Ponzi, we gain valuable insights into the dark underbelly of greed and the enduring quest for financial gain at any cost. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and share it for more.